I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team? Welcome to the channel. It's your girl, DYANAROZAY, and I'm here to bring you guys the review for the premiere of Belle Collective Birmingham. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Come on in. Okay, nice to have every single one of y'all. Drop your side dishes into the chat as you come in, because y'all already know this is the cookout. Listen, I'm excited about this new show, y'all. This is a good show. And y'all know I'm about to do it up, okay? I can only do what I know how to do. Nobody else. Nobody else. But this was actually a very good show. I'm going to give you guys what happened in this very first episode. Hold on. Let me make sure I have everything. I do. Come on in. You said on time. What's up, Miss Belicious? Nice to have you, girl. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We got Miss Ange in the building. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have Jacob. Come on in. You said you love the hat. Thank you very much, child. I appreciate it. Thank you. Anyway, y'all, we got some characters, okay? I put up these three, Miss Stormy Steele. We also have Kayla and Amber. We're going to talk about them because they were very, very interesting. Someone told me to do a picture board for this episode, which I did not get a chance to do because, child, that takes a minute. But I did get everybody's names. So I'm going to put this up so that y'all can see it. In a second, I'm going to put this up so that y'all can stay with the characters, because I want to make sure that we are all on the same page when we talk about these people. Come on in. I am unique. Nice to have you. And y'all join the chat. I don't mind different opinions. Y'all know this. Just keep it respectful. We're watching TV. We are grown as hell. If you don't like the show, don't watch the show. You know what I'm saying? Don't watch the show if you don't like it. That's cool. Just don't go after anybody in the chat. Don't go after me. That's all I'm asking, is that, you know, we act our age so that people aren't acting crazy. So that people aren't acting crazy, okay? I also, because y'all know, I like to share my skincare and things like that over here. If you guys are so interested, I am promoting this product right here, which is The Rock. It is a derm stick. And what it is supposed to do, it has a little retinol in it, is smooth the skin, fine lines, wrinkles, any type of skin issues you have. You can put it on your face, your neck, your hands, your chest, anywhere you think is a problem, and it will help smooth it out. This was actually created by dermatologists and plastic surgeons, okay? This is actually my third purchase of this. And if you are so inclined, if you'd like to buy, there is a little shopping bag. It should be on the front of the screen if you are on your cell phones. And if you are on your computer, it'll show up as a link under the menu bar. And you just click it. It'll take you right over to Ulta Beauty so that you can buy, and I'll get the credit for that. So just in case you are interested, this is it. This is my third purchase of this, just so you know. So I love it. Wear it every night, and don't forget to wear your sunscreen during the day, because it will burn your skin if you're not careful, okay? But anyway, let's talk about this show. Let's talk about this show. Let's be grown and talk about it, okay? Hold on. Let me put this screen down and put this screen up. Y'all can see that? Cool. So Stormy Steele, Amber, Kayla, Fumi, Tiffany with an E, and Kaylin. And I put Kaylin up because Kaylin is actually Amber's niece. But I've seen Kaylin, I guess, on Stormy's her TikTok lives. I see her all the time. I've not seen Amber, but I've seen Kylan, and so I think that this is going to be real cool. Like to put her in there too. She'll probably show up a little bit. Hey, Deshonda. Deshonda is one of my members. You guys, please say hello to her. I love to give my members a shout out, especially when they come over to hang out with me, child, at 11:30 on a damn Tuesday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are interested in becoming a member, you can hit the link at the top of the page and it will take you there. I actually did want to shout out someone who came over yesterday. Hold on. Can I see them? Nope. Come on in. Come on in. You said Amber looks like Remy Ma. She does? Let me see. I did not know that. Anyway, the other thing that I want to share. Okay, just making sure I didn't miss anything in the comments. All right, y'all, take the poll at the top of the page too. We're doing the crown or clown. It is going to have, it deals with Kayla and Amber. If y'all watch the show, Amber is feeling slighted by Kayla. She thinks that that girl is, I don't know, doing her dirty, not talking to her, whatever. She said there has been some incidents in the past where, she's met up with Kayla and Kayla purposely ignores her. And so I want to know from y'all, how do you feel about this? When you see people, they don't speak, even though y'all know each other through circles. She said, listen, this woman, you introduced her to me and she gave me the cold shoulder in front of you. So she feels away. I want to know if y'all feel the same way Amber does. Heifer, you see me? Stop pretending like you don't see me. Or are you Team Kayla? That's a you problem. I don't owe you shit. Please take the poll at the top of the chat. Let me know what y'all think. What else? Oh, in the photo. I saw somebody else. Who did I see? Deidre. What's up, Miss Deidre? Thank you for coming through. She is another one of my members. I appreciate you, girl. I love it when you guys come in to support. You said, shout out to Amber, your fellow, who is this, UAB? Blazer alum. Okay. I can't wait to see what you guys think. So we'll get to that scene at the end, but vote now, okay? Everybody vote now. Anyway, so listen, we're going to get it started. Y'all know this is a new show, so every new show, they got to introduce everybody. And even if y'all thought y'all heard these stories before, I'm going to tell you the story my way. That's the only way I know how to do it, okay? So y'all heard me talk about this, the importance of these kind of shows taping in one of the poorest states in the country to this day, 2026. You can Google it if you want, okay? All of the things that we know, Jackson, Mississippi, or Mississippi, period. When we got Jackson or Belle Collective Jackson, I was like, for real? Because these are places that's ignored usually, right? But now we have Miss Stormy Steele, who is also from Mississippi. She is leading this show, and a lot of people were like, bitch, you don't even live in Birmingham, so why are you getting, the crown for this? But in this opening of the show, Stormy actually explains everything. Everybody's explaining how they got here, right? And Stormy is letting us know that, listen, I grew up in this, no stoplight ass town in Mississippi. And like I said, everybody, including the people that live in Mississippi, even if you are successful there, y'all know very well that there's a lot of people that live, not so great lives, right? Healthcare is a problem, food shortage, all of the things that goes on there. And her mother was raised there. And so Stormy is letting us know that when she was a kid, she was given the recipe, the tools for success that all of us growing up has been given, right? Graduate high school, take your ass to college, okay? Get yourself a good man, Savannah. Work that 9 to 5 in whatever the office building is for the rest of your days. Pray that you get some sort of retirement or something from there. That's the recipe that everybody is taught. And Stormy said, baby, there was something inside of me that said, I can't go in this like another day. I don't want to be here. I had a calling that kept screaming in my head. And one day I just said, I'm not going back to school for nothing. I'm leaving school. And even though a whole bunch of people who would have heard that story, everybody would have said, Stormy, are you dumb? Are you crazy? Right? That's the type of stuff people say when you get off the path. You think you know everything? Why would you make your life harder in one of the poorest states in the union? Why would you make your life harder by quitting college? You were one of the ones who were chosen to go. And Stormy said, I couldn't do it. I literally just said one day, I'm not doing it anymore. And she said that her mother called her out on it, just like everybody else would have called her out on it. Who do you think you are? I'm cutting your ass off. You don't get anything else from me. Fall, hit your head, whatever you plan on doing, do it outside, because I already told you this is what you need to be successful. And she called her a dumb bitch. Don't come back here if this is how you want to play it. And Stormy said, cool. You know, whatever it is, this is my life. I have to choose it. But there's something that's happening inside of me that said I'm not supposed to be here. And this is how Stormy ends up moving through and becoming a millionaire, because she answered her calling. I don't know why, but I'm supposed to be doing hair instead. So I'm going to do this hair. And she ends up making a name for herself as a stylist. She has people traveling from all over to sit in her chair and get their hair done. And then one day she decides she's going to make a hair oil. She don't know why. This is just, again, the calling. If people start following the calling, and it's one that everybody stumps the shit out of us for. Okay, when we have a calling, there's always someone who's afraid for you. You're not going to make it. It's not, you know what I'm saying? And they'll stump it out of you. But she said it was strong enough in her where she said, I'm going to do it. Now she's in her kitchen, putting oils in a damn pot and cooking it on her stove, and then using it on her clients at the salon. And people are like, baby, what is this? I want to buy more. And they are actually coming in just to buy the damn hair oil now. She has more customers for hair oil than she actually has sitting in the seat to get her hair done, their hair done. And now she said she finds herself at home making so much of the product that she asked her husband, I think that was her husband at the time, Courtney, can you quit your job and help me with these damn funnels and pouring this oil into these little bottles and then vacuum sealing it and mailing it out? And he said, yeah, well, I'll do whatever you want to do, right? So they're just making it at home. And she said within a year, she turned a at-home side business into $1 million hustle just at the house, at the crib. Now, I'm just assuming they may have been selling it for $20 a bottle, but I don't know. But if they were selling it for $20 a bottle, the two of them alone packaged over 50,000 little units of oil. It could have been less than $20. Could have been $10. I don't know what she thought the worth was at the time. Hopefully she'll share that in these coming episodes. But she ends up doing it, and then someone sits in her chair that knows how to help scale her business and says, girl, you got yourself a product on your fucking hand. This is what you should be doing. And that's how she blows up, by simply answering the call inside of her, a call that everybody else called stupid, including her mama. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? How dare you? Okay, you got an opportunity to do something that most people in Mississippi don't get a chance to do. Take your ass to school. And she said no. And that was all it took. And now here she is, a person who, you know, nobody knew. And now she's a household name all over the world, not just in the United States, all over the world. What she did over there on TikTok, being the #1 seller there in the United States and in the UK, made her a household name all over. She was able to travel to all of these places. And then we have stars like Rihanna and Lala Anthony saying, well, baby, if you can sell that, sell this for us. You know what I'm saying? So now they're calling on her name. It was a big deal, okay? A huge deal. And she said that that's how she got here. after her little stint on, and this success, let me also say this because sometimes we mess up the story. The success she had was simply selling her oil and someone coming into her chair and saying, baby, let's scale you. That happened before Love and Marriage Huntsville. That happened before Love and Marriage Huntsville. She was on Love and Marriage Huntsville for maybe 2 years and a half, and then ended up leaving there. And that's when she blew up again. Okay. So, anyway, that was a story that she tells at the beginning of the show. And I added some things that I just remember her sharing about her story. And now she is sitting at her office. I'm assuming that this is where her warehouse is. She's sitting in her warehouse, and there's a lady by the name of Amber who comes in to visit. Now, Amber describes herself as one of Stormy's clients from back in the day. She said, I've known her for over 10 years. Someone recommended her to me so she could do my hair, and I have been going to her over and over. And now Amber not only is her friend, but she's also the current CFO of Canvas, and she lives in Birmingham. And this is how the Birmingham Huntsville connection happens. Everybody wants to know how Stormy made it to Birmingham. It's because her CFO lives in Birmingham, but she makes that hour-and-a-half trek up to Huntsville, and has been making it, I guess, for a little while to sit down and talk business with Stormy. And this time they are talking about the pre-release party for Lala Anthony's, I guess, her oils and perfume and body butter, whatever it is that she's selling for that. And she said that Stormy is trying to figure out where she's going to have the next pre-release party. She's already done New York, Atlanta, Las Vegas, LA. She needs to move it somewhere closer to home or someplace where people aren't expecting. And Amber suggests you need to do it in the Ham. Okay. The Ham is hustling, bustling. We got so much shit going on. Y'all thought that Huntsville was Rocket City. We got a tech company over there that's so huge. The number of Black people that goes to that school and come out, you know what I'm saying, doing business, you would be amazed. There is all type of Black women that's doing their thing over there. And I've been trying to get you over to the Ham for a second. I talk to you all the time about my prayer circle, my friends in my prayer circle. Now's the time. If you want to put this on the map, now's the time. And Stormy agrees. Okay, cool. Let's have it in the Ham. I have heard about it, child. You've talked to me about it for a second. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Anyway, Amber says, I also want you to meet a few people. I told you about Tiffany and them. So now's the time for you to meet them. I'm going to get you down there. Now we find out that Stormy doesn't really like meet new people. I understand that. Sometimes, you're overwhelmed, especially when you get, I would say over the age of 35, you already got a family. You already got your set group of friends. I don't want to meet no more friends. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no extra friends in my life. But Amber convinces Stormy to meet some people. We're going to do it down there. I'm also going to hook you up with some people I know, some business ladies that you can't say no to. So let's get it on. Anyway, after all of that is settled, Stormy says to Amber, I need you to see this package, okay? This keepsake box that we are going to put the Lala Anthony products in. This is the collab. I want you to see what we did. Okay. I met with the supplier, with the production company, the team. Let me show you before you leave real quick. And she ends up pulling it out of the box for the first time. She's unpackaging it. And when she looks at it, she's like, what is this janky ass? What is happening here? She's pushing on the cushion on the inside. She opens up the box. It looks like it's wearing at the seams. The paper is tearing. And she calls, I guess this is another manager. His name is Mike. She said, get in here immediately. What is going on? This is not what we asked for. We specifically told them, and she pulls down another box that had her perfume product in it. She said, we specifically gave them this to work off the prototype. So this cushion should be firmer. We're trying to sell, I don't even know how much those boxes were. So don't quote me on it, but I think it was like $200, maybe $300 for the Lala Anthony product, the collab product. And she's like, there's no way we can put that product in this janky ass box. get the supplier on the phone right now, right? So now everybody, you know, when the boss starts screaming, everybody be sitting there with their eyes being like, bitch, damn, you know what I'm saying? And this is when she first pulled it out the box. So they put the supplier on a conference call, actually like a Zoom call. Don't lie to me on the phone where I can't see your ass. I need you to see my face when I talk to you. So I think they blurred him out, but I was like, see, this is how you know you mean business, when you put somebody on a Zoom call and make them answer for their sins. Okay, come on in. Welcome, Erica. Nice to have you, girl. She said, so what's the problem? Like, this box is nothing like the box we sent to you. We wanted a bigger version of this. We pretty much gave you all the pieces. So why is this the prototype that's coming to us? And it's completely unacceptable. And the supplier says to her, the budget simply wasn't there. And Stormy said, don't do that, motherfucker. Don't do that. I gave you $150K for the boxes. $150K. Listen, make sure you understand. $150K for the boxes, the keepsake boxes, not the product itself. And this is what you're offering. And not to mention the fact that the reason why we went with you, a domestic supplier, is because y'all promised us that we wouldn't get this bullshit as the final product. We didn't want this coming from overseas. I could have paid them a fraction of the price. So money was never a problem. You gave us a cost and we told you cool. And now this is how you playing it? So she was pissed. She was pissed from the jump. Okay. Anyway, just so y'all know, this is real business. This is exactly what they will do to you. You got to get yourself the right one, because they will play your ass. They'll actually order those boxes from overseas, the one that you said you didn't want. They'll order those and pocket the rest of your money. So she feels like she's been, rope-a-dope. They've done a switcheroo, telling her they can bring one thing and giving her another. So now she said, I can't even get the words out good the way I want to say it. So the guy she called in, Mike, he ends up saying, listen, this is not what we asked for, right? And we need to know how soon you can give us what we want. Like, our event is actually on the 30th. We've already pushed this back. We've pushed the date back to accommodate you. So how soon can we get this product? The way we asked for it. And dude tells him the soonest that he can get it to him would be February 23rd. The actual date of the 48-hour TikTok event, I believe, is on the 30th of January. So he's failing them. The supplier is failing them in every way. Not only are we not getting the product, but the boxes is going to come damn near 30 days after the event, which causes Stormy to have a panic attack, PTSD from all of the YouTube and what else? Facebook. Y'all remember people was dragging Stormy through the coals saying, you're not getting our products on time, whatever things may be. So she sat there like you could just see it. And she starts crying, and Amber runs over to hug her and shit. And she's just like, this is not what I want. I'm letting down my customers. I'm letting down Lala Anthony. This is not what we asked for. So anyway, Mike said, you and I are going to continue this conversation later. He says that to the supplier. And he said, how soon can you get us whatever number of boxes? And we need it before. Like I said, they were supposed to have 5,000 boxes. We need it before the 30th. And the supplier says the most we can get to you is 2,400, which still isn't acceptable. Still not acceptable, right? And that's basically how the scene ends. They close it out like that. But you can tell there's a whole lot of problems they have to juggle before we get to the TikTok live, okay? Anyway, I like the scene. I actually liked it. And again, most people ask for these business scenes, And sometimes they don't even know what's really going on. So it's a bore to you. But when you start listening to people talk numbers, I paid you $150,000 to have it on time and to give me a quality product. And now we're trying to put $300 worth of product into a keepsake box that looks like shit. Under no circumstances are you going to ruin my name like this. Like, this is the stuff that people deal with all day, every day. Come on in, everyone. Welcome to the chat. I appreciate y'all for being here. Please hit my like button and share the video, okay? All right, now we're moving on to Stormy and Kayla. Kayla is right here, right underneath Stormy's picture. Stormy is actually at home, y'all. Y'all know she actually has an estate that's set on a farm. She has horses, cows, dogs, you name it, everything. And in this scene, we are introduced to Courtney's dog, rather, her husband. He has a dog named Smoke. We're also introduced to a 3-legged rescue by the name of Trey. She said is her support animal. And we're introduced to the groundskeeper. His name is Gooch. Something tells me that Gooch is funny. That's why we get to see him in this first episode, even though he didn't give us a lot. But she has a groundkeeper by the name of Gooch, who probably is like Benson, or who is the guy from the Will Smith show? What was his name? Put it in the chat. The Will Smith show with y'all know who I'm talking about, Uncle Phil and all them. He's probably has a role like that. I don't know. Anyway, Kayla ends up pulling up at Stormy's house, and they go out to feed the horses and catch up, right? Jeffrey. Thank you, Deshonda. Yeah, Gooch might be like the Jeffrey of Stormy's household. We'll have to see. Y'all know the groundskeeper and those people, they know everything. They know everything, okay? But Kayla and Stormy go outside to feed the horses in the barn, and Kayla catches Stormy up on what's been going on in her life, which is like a real shock to everybody, right? Not just a shock to Stormy. Kayla said it was a shock to her own children, but she drops the news that she is newly divorced. Only 4 months has she been out here free as a bird. Okay. And she's explaining why, but they show a picture of her family, or her previous family, her husband, and there's a blur spot over her face, but he's very, very milky white. You know what I'm saying? It's possible that he could just be super light skinned, but he appears white with that blur over his face. And the children do seem to be, half and half. But she said, yeah, this was very shocking for her. She's still trying to get through or accustomed to being divorced, single, because she said she's been with her husband, or had been with her ex-husband, since she was 17 years old, and he was 32. She said that man met me as a host over there at Hooters, and they have been side by side, tied to the hip ever since. She said we were a very close-knit family. Where I go, he went, and where he went, I went. We were never separated. That's shocking. So she's like, I'm getting used to that. And we just told the kids last week that we were actually divorced. Been divorced for 4 months. Just told the kids last week that they're no longer together, that they're officially legally divorced. So that's a lot on the system, right? Anyway, Kayla presents as being in her 30s. So just so we know, she presents as in her 30s now. So that means that man was about 15 or so years older than her, which would make him in his 40s now, if that's the case, right? But she breaks it down for Stormy. She said, my husband couldn't take, at the time, he wasn't able to take my growth, the person I was becoming. I was trying to grow into my businesswoman. She ends up telling the story about how her daughter, I think she has 3 children, how her daughter is in the Black Panther movie, what she did to get eyeballs on her daughter and have her daughter have a scene with the greats in the Black Panther movie. The Black Panther movie is, that's an iconic movie. It's going to be iconic forever. And her daughter will always be known as being in that scene. And she said when she did it, people started asking her when they realized, oh my God, you're her mother? Tell me how you did it. I want to know. She said, I started having meetings, $35 meetings at Starbucks, teaching people what they needed to do to get their child in a movie. And she said the shit grew from there. Like all of a sudden, overnight, she said, I used to make 14K a year, and now I'm making 14K in a day. So clearly she upped the price, right? But she said, I was moving and shaking, and he just couldn't take it. So they ended up divorcing because of it. So I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of the story. I want to know if she had to pay that man part of her business, because they were together when she did it. Right. And she said it just happened in the last few years. He couldn't take it. He couldn't take it. Right. So I want to know if she had to pay him child support, alimony, part of the business. I don't know. But she said, that's where I am right now. I'm still growing. I'm still blessed. But I'm just no longer moving with that man. Anyway, Stormy actually said, I kind of figured your ass were going to leave him because he looked like the type of person who was not willing to let you spread your wings. So that's not a shock to me, even though I've never seen that man do anything horrible to you. I just know that he was very traditional, very old school. He wanted you to rely on him for everything. And that, you putting your name out there, even though you weren't even on TV yet. You know what I'm saying? You were just a business that was profiting and growing from social media. You were running a social media business. Interesting. Anyway, this is an amazing story. I like Kayla's story. I am looking forward. I'm hoping that she's able to share more about it. I hope her husband or ex-husband doesn't put a gag order on anything, because right now, like I said, they blurred his face out. So he definitely isn't a part of the show. He did not get permission to be a part of the show. That's why they blurred him out. The kids were given permission, it looks like, because their faces were shown. But fingers crossed that it doesn't become something real ugly moving forward. Anyway, let's talk about Tiffany. Tiffany is right under Kayla. Tiffany and her prayer circle, baby. Tiffany and her prayer circle. Come on in. Welcome, you guys. Hey, Malicious. Hey, Miss Dyrese. Tiffany opens up the scene and she describes herself as a serial entrepreneur. She said, baby, I got multiple businesses over here. Me and my husband, we are movers and shakers over here in the Birmingham community. She also described herself as a wife, a mother of 3. And then things get interesting because she later describes herself as an ex-party and club goer, an ex-brown liquor connoisseur, okay? And also an ex-stump a mud hole in your ass whooper, okay? So she said, I got a whole lot of things in my past that I had to clear up. And one of the things that keep me grounded is my prayer circle. She meets with about, I guess, 7 to 8 women weekly. At least it looked like there was about 7 or 8 of them in that room. And she said, I meet with them weekly. You said, I'm not liking Tiffany. She meets with them weekly in order to stay grounded. Women with like minds, women who are in business, women who need to stay encouraged and not fall back in their old, sinful ways. But she said, the things I used to do that started with me drinking, I don't like that person. I don't like that person at all. So from this point forward, I'm trying to stay grounded. I'm trying to stay grounded in the word, grounded in my friendships. And so she leads this prayer circle every week with multiple women so that they can all hold each other accountable in the word. So I don't know yet how I'm going to feel completely. Like right now, when I heard her tell her story, I was actually laughing. I was amused by it. But, she says she don't want to backslide. That's the most important part of this. I get up and I minister others, and part of me ministering others is to keep me from backsliding. So we'll see what that looks like, right? Because you know what I'm saying? You got to take it day by day. You got to take it day by day. And we already know that next week, in this upcoming episode, not next week, this upcoming episode that happens this Friday, it looks like Stormy's going to threaten to whoop ass. So we'll see how far she goes, if she's going to need a drink after that. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tiffany is a mess because her colors are going to show on the next episode. Well, that's what I said. She says she got to take it day by day. She understands that she needs to be held accountable. We'll see how she handles her accountability, right? It was just interesting how she introduced herself. There's nothing really more to tell about that other than that, okay? Now let's talk about Fumi, who is under Amber right there in the center. And I think it's pronounced Fumi. Fumi from Nigeria, okay? Fumi is a content creator. She also has partnerships in multiple businesses with her husband, Sam, and also her sister, I believe it's pronounced Marianne, if I'm not mistaken. And she has two young sons, by the way. They look like they were in elementary school. But yeah, she is a fun-sized Nigerian woman who has a huge personality, you can tell. And she also has a very fairy tale way of looking at life. And right now, she's interested in a $5 million house. $5 million. Okay. Anyway, her sister Miriam stops by and she asked her husband, did you invite her here? And he said, now, when would I have invited your sister here? Like, I don't even do that. So when would I have done it? She said, I feel like y'all are trying to double team me to talk me out of buying this house. Okay. Anyway, that appears to be the situation. It looks like Marion is a person who comes in to bring Fumi down to planet Earth. Baby, I understand you got this fantasy island way of thinking about life, but let me bring you right on back down to planet Earth. And Miriam says to Fumi, baby, you don't even have a job, okay? Tommy from Martin, you don't even have a job for real. Why would you be looking or even considering a $5 million house? And then Fumi tells her to pipe your ass down. Number one, y'all don't have no problem asking me for money, or when I was investing in your businesses, because I'm a partner in multiple businesses with you, the real estate company, and some others. And I'm an investor in multiple businesses with my husband. Okay. So when that investment check come every week, every month, every quarter, whatever it is, I know we got the money, because my money is essentially motherfucking money. Whatever y'all pay to me, I know we got it. All right. So that was a funny conversation. But like I said, I know people have problems with Wendy from Potomac. But I said, baby, she said, y'all ain't gonna tell me which house I can buy and what I can't buy. I know what we got. And she said that to her husband. He is a whole attorney at his own law firm. So yeah, we got it. But both Sam and Miriam were trying to talk her out of the house. We don't want you to look at anything that amount of money. We don't have it. And they even tried to get the kids involved. The kids said, we don't want to move. And Fumi said, I am not taking advice from these little knuckleheads when they don't even like to bathe. Don't tell me what I like and don't like, child. Get the hell up out of here. Anyway, it was funny. I am looking forward to seeing her. She does have a huge personality. Based on what happened at the end of the scene, somebody said Tiffany is full of boo-boo. My God, y'all are killing me. Based on the end of the scene, it looks like Tiffany and Fumi might actually bump heads a little bit, because both of them like to talk. Both of them like to talk and share their experiences in life. So this is going to be interesting to see their dynamics, because the way Tiffany was rolling her eyes when they were at the pre-release party, oh, I was like, girl, you don't like her very much. Anyway, Anyway, let's talk about Amber again. Miss Amber is at home, and you get to see her house. She also likes animals. She has a little pup. And Amber gets a call from Stormy to touch base on the pre-release boxes or the pre-release party, and also what's going on with the supplies and stuff. Stormy also tells her about the guest list. She said that Kayla is coming, and she's excited about that, but that puts Amber into a funk. Amber's whole entire energy changed. She was like, I don't like that bitch. Okay. And Stormy's like, why? What happened? What's wrong? And she says she got an air about her that I don't fuck with for real. The girl doesn't speak. I've had multiple run-ins with her, not a lot, but enough where she should know who I am when she sees me. And even when you introduced us, I'm the CFO of your company. She's a friend of yours. That girl literally ignored me, gave me the cold shoulder, hugged Courtney, hugged the other people that you introduced her to. So I feel a way. It feels personal. I'm not sure what's up, but it feels personal to me. And Stormy was like, do you think maybe she just didn't see? I don't know. She's real sweet. I like her. I resonate with her story. So I don't want you not to like her. And Amber said, well, because it's you, I'll give her another chance because, maybe I am putting 10 on 20 on 10. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I'll give her another chance because it's you. But that's it. This is her last fucking chance. Just know that. Anyway, she says she got her eye on the heifer and we'll see. But that's how that scene ends. And now we are at the pre-release party. Okay. Everybody is coming in, you guys. It is a huge deal. Essence magazine is there. Gossip magazine is there. I actually saw this streaming on Essence magazine the night of the pre-release party. So it was streaming on Essence magazine's IG. Crazy. It was a big deal. They got a whole bunch of big people into the group. People with fur coats came in, long gowns. There were some people who had their gym shoes and regular clothing on, but beautiful gowns, beautiful gowns. As Aretha Franklin said, men were wearing suits with sparkles on it. Okay. They outsparkled some of the women, but this was a dress to the nines event. Tiffany said that the Black folk in the ham, they like to show off times a million. There's a bunch of creators here. And when they walk into a room with, the big wigs, the names, they want to make sure they look like they fit in. Sometimes they will outdress the names. So she said, this is very typical for the ham. Anyway, we also get a guest appearance from Mr. Courtney, who Stormy seems like she was surprised that he came. She was like, I'm so happy to see you here. He was like, I'm happy you happy, baby. You know what I'm saying? It was cute to see. I think that Stormy and Courtney had one of the best relationships on Love and Mayor Huntsville. So it's nice to see him being a part of her show. This is what support looks like. You want to do this, you can do it again, because nothing about Courtney says he wants to be on TV. So him showing up to the event to support his wife in Birmingham. I'm gonna drive this hour and a half down here because I really don't have to be here just to be at this party. That was a big deal, and on the show because it was filming, right? We also got a guest appearance from Destiny and Trisha. They did their little crossover moment and they talked to was it both Destiny and Trisha? I know that both Destiny and Trisha was there, but they have a little moment with Destiny and Stormy, and it was super cute. Even blogger Anthony Lofty's was there, child. I don't know. He had on some sort of checkered ass. It was like was it a cape? I don't even know. It was a cape, I think. But he was there, child. You saw him in the background. He didn't have a speaking role, but he was in the background. So when Stormy shows up in her first stall, I think she borrowed it from maybe Martell, child. She had on her first stall. Anyway, she ends up calling Lala Anthony. And she said, listen, this is what's going on here. She's showing all of the decoration and everything. She was like, it is beautiful here. We got a whole bunch of coverage. This is about to go off without a hitch. She also tells her that all of the boxes is they got the problem solved. So she said, just so you know, we've had a couple of hiccups, but right now we got the problem solved, just so you know. And she said, we are ready to launch this 48-hour live. This shit is going to be beautiful. Okay. After all of that, we get to see the cast making their way into the party. And the cast is everybody that you see in the picture. And yeah, Stormy basically says one thing about these girls is that they are all very confident women. When they show up as them, as their whole selves, not as a shell of themselves, not as someone who has to dim their light because another bitch can't take it. They come in their full selves. And the only person I'll say right now is Amber, I'm gonna need you to get on board. I want you to be your full self in front of Kayla, because it seems like you're dimming your light trying to make this lady speak to you. I don't know what's up with that, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Anyway, she said that in the scene, she said, I like to be around women who know how to show the fuck up and be who they need to be in this lifetime. When they do that, that helps me be my full authentic self. And I think that's true for everybody, but she definitely said it. Don't come here. Don't hang around me if you can't show up and be you. Anyway, after all of that, like I said, all the women are coming in. We see Amber come in first. Amber's meeting with everybody, chit-chatting. And then we see Kayla. And I just want y'all to see what Kayla's working with. Because I told y'all that Kayla was married to a man who appeared to have been, very fair or white skinned. We don't know exactly his ethnicity. He could have been black and just very fair, but he appeared to be white. When I tell y'all Kayla walked up in this with the complete opposite of whatever it was she was working with before. And this is 4 months, short months after this divorce. And she walked in with a man named Jason, child, who definitely looked like he owned the room. When he walked into the door, he had that damn brim on. I don't know if you can tell from this photo, but that jacket has all kinds of little sparkles on it. Okay. He did not come there to play. He came there to be seen and to make sure that Kayla felt her best. I think that Jason outdressed Kayla. I think Jason outdressed Kayla when he walked up in that mother. It was a sight to see. That's all I can say. He looked amazing, okay? Swaggy-licious is what I called him before. But anyway, they come in and yeah, Kayla and I will say this, I feel like if Jason wasn't on her arm, people may not have saw Kayla. But when Kayla walked in with Jason, she was like, hey, and everybody turned their head to look at that man. This picture doesn't do him justice. Okay. The other thing that I want to point out, outside of him being the very opposite of very dark, deep chocolate, not fair skin, also somebody who likes to be seen, because you don't wear a sparkly jacket as a man unless you want all eyes on you. Okay. We know she said that her husband had a problem being in her light. Her ex-husband had a problem being in her light. Jason does not. The one thing that's probably very similar to the husband is Jason is an older man because of that white beard. But he was a handsome guy, very handsome. But I said she done found herself in 4 months, someone who was the very opposite of the man she described to Stormy. So this shocked the shit out of me, because usually people will find the exact same person after they get rid of somebody. They will meet the exact same person and fall in love with them because they're familiar and not realize you're just repeating the same shit. So we have to see. I'm hoping that we get to see more of her and Jason's relationship. I was so stunned when I saw that. I really was. Anyway, now when Kayla walks in, I will say this. Kayla did the same thing to Amber that she did before. She was not... I don't know what's going on between Kayla and Amber, But baby, Kayla came in and literally she was bubbly, full of joy. She felt good. She is wearing Jason like an accessory, and Jason does not mind at all. Jason is walking around. Listen, there was one moment where you could see that Jason and Kayla separated, and when she found him, she slid up, sidled beside him, and grabbed his hand. He had to look down to see who's coming over here beside me. It's your woman. It's the person who invited you. You're her plus one, okay? Because he's moving around just like a little flighty bee, like a butterfly. But she meets everybody. She says hello to everybody except for Amber. She manages to ignore Amber once more, and Amber was pissed. I mean, every time they seemed to be this close to each other, Kayla was laughing, joking, hee ha-hawing. Let me introduce myself to everybody except for Amber. And this is someone that Amber said, I've met this person multiple times, and this feels personal to me. Okay? So Amber is so upset, I'm assuming, because when the camera pans her, her face was like you could just see it. It upset her day. I'm not sure why. I don't want my CFO to be that involved with someone else making her happy by saying hello. I would rather you, Amber, step up to Kayla and say, I know you and I should know each other. I've met you a couple of times before, but let me reintroduce myself. But you're not going to ignore me. Okay? I'm not the lady at the Piggly Wiggly. I'm Amber. I'm the reason why you're at this party. I'm the CFO of the company that we're celebrating here. Don't do that. I would have had more respect for her if she did that. But right now, I have to listen to the rest of that story. But that bothered me that she didn't step up to the plate. I didn't like that. Anyway, after she does that, after she gets ignored again, it looks like she goes to the side and sit in a little space all by herself and sulk. She's over there just like a person without a friend. And Stormy has to come over, and Stormy said, hey, how's it going? Is everything okay? And Amber's like, she's like, I think Stormy said, did you meet Kayla? She said, no, she didn't speak again. And she said, is everything okay between y'all? And Amber said, she didn't speak. And Stormy's like, oh, and she makes a face like, okay. She went, well, I'm going to nip this shit in the bud. I'm going to go grab her right now. Are you okay with that? She was like, yeah, go grab her. So she goes and grabs Kayla. And this is important. She goes and grabs Kayla, brings her over. Kayla sits on the opposite side of Amber. When Kayla walks into the space, Kayla doesn't say, oh, hey, Amber, or wave or smile to let her know I'm acknowledging you now. She walks in, she sits her ass down, and Stormy said, hey, I just want to introduce y'all. And so she introduces her, and she looks at her like, Kayla's looking at her like, okay. Amber says, you didn't speak. And this might be like multiple times that you haven't speak. Kayla said, I didn't see it that way. Not my bad. Oh, girl, I don't have no problem. I'm sorry. She said, I didn't see it like that. I don't know what you want from me. I'm not giving you what you want, though. I'm still not going to speak to you. And that's how it ends. The scene stealer, the scene snatcher is Jason and Kayla. They snatched the damn scene. They snatched the scene, and Kayla at the end doubled downing on the fact that I didn't speak to you then, previously either, and I'm not going to speak to you now. If that's what you want, hell has frozen over because you're not getting that from me. That's a lot. That's a lot. Go ahead and take the poll because we are about to see who wears the crown versus who wears the clown. Okay. So if you guys, whoever you vote for, whoever gets the most votes, the choices is Kayla and Amber. Whoever gets the most votes means that you're on their side and they wear the crown for this live. And whoever gets the least amount of votes will be a clown by default, okay? Hold on, let me get y'all the results. This was so funny to me, you guys. Let me see if I can find it on my phone. Mm-mm. Okay, so if you guys are watching the replay, go ahead and put it in the comment section. I said crown or clown regarding speaking to everybody. When one enters the room, do you resonate with Amber or Kayla? Amber's position was heifer you, or yeah, Amber's position was heifer you see me. She expected her to speak. While Kayla's position is that's a you problem. I don't have to speak to you. I don't have to make you feel better. I don't know what you want from me. 72% of y'all agreed with Amber. Heifer, you see me. You see me. This is my party. I am the CFO. I expect for you to come in and to give me my props. While 28% of y'all resonated with Kayla. It's a you problem. I don't have to speak to you. So more of y'all resonated with Amber than Kayla, just so you know. And I'm going to say that for me, how do I feel? I actually think that Kayla should have said hi to Amber. I think that that was disrespectful. It was a slight not to speak to her. But I feel like Amber could have handled it better. I think Kayla should have spoken, but I think that Amber could have handled it better because you don't get to be the CFO without, stepping up and pushing your weight. That's a part of being CFO. Papa, hey bitch. Okay? If even if she didn't speak to you and she ignored you, what you could have done is stepped up to Jason and said, "Where have I seen you before?" Where have I seen you before? And then start talking to him. Like there was a whole lot of things that could have happened in that scene that could have, changed the trajectory of things. But this was the first episode and we'll have to see how everything else plays out. But for right now, I do think that Kayla should have spoken. And I think that she was definitely letting Amber know, I don't fuck with you. But I think that Amber could have changed how things went there. Okay. Yes, especially the way the camera shot it. It made it seem like she was in the corner sulking, and I was like, no. No, get your ass up and go over there and elbow that lady. Okay, boom. Okay, go ahead and elbow her. And if you don't elbow her, because she was real happy about standing beside that man, the way she sidled up to him and grabbed his hand. All you do is go, listen, you know how to do this as a woman by now. You go over and you introduce yourself to the man. And then when she's like, hey, girl, you be like, oh, child, I didn't see you. You do to her what she did to you. I didn't see you. What's your name again? Amby? Okay. Amby, the bird. You do shit like that. And then she'll know not with you again. Do you think Portia Williams would have let that go down on her watch? Absolutely not. How about Amber gets off her high horse and speaks first? She could have done that. I just said that. I just said that. Let's see. Kim said, it's not that serious. I don't speak, and that's okay. Not to worry. Some people really have a hard time with people that don't speak. That's not just an Amber problem. That's like a cultural problem for us. For us, we don't like people not to speak to us. You see me. You saw me multiple times. What is your problem? I mean, that's a thing. That's a thing. I know it was a thing in my family. My grandmother used to be like, cuss people out that didn't speak to her. But you know what I'm saying? Once you learn the ropes a little bit, you know how to get what you want out of people. But anyway, that is how the episode ended. I actually liked it a lot. It was the introductory episode, but it had a lot of meat and potatoes in regards to these people's individual lives that I want to see. I'm interested in Fumi's relationship and why her sister would say in that first episode, "You ain't got a job, Tommy." Okay. You know you don't have a job. What are you doing? And then her saying, don't do that. That was an interesting little scene. I like the little smackbacks with people. Who else? I want to see why Amber and Kayla, I want to see why they have such a funky interaction. I'm interested in that. I also want to see Tiffany and how she relates to everybody, since she said she used to be, you know what I'm saying? She used to be Otis over there, beating people's ass and then, going down to the county jail and locking herself up afterwards. She said, "I don't like who I used to be when I drunk. So I don't drink anymore. I don't drink anything." And I'm like, if alcohol got you that bad off, we know now why that prayer circle is happening. And then who's going to get her off her game? Is she a hypocrite, or is she really standing 10 toes in it? That's a good story. Not to mention the fact that she refers to herself as a serial entrepreneur. Did something happen in her life where she got into a fight or an attack and it might have, caused some sort of legal issue for her? That's good tea. You know what I'm saying? All right. Thank y'all. Anyways, I loved it. I thought it was a good show. Let me put the screen back up here. Congrats to all the ladies. And let's see what they got to offer next. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, thanks every single one of my cousins who showed up here today in the live chat, and to all of you who are a part of the replay. I appreciate y'all. Hit the like button, share the video. Y'all know all the things. Okay, let me blow this up. Follow me on all platforms at DYANAROZAY. Thank you to my members for coming through and hanging out. I love you guys. Until the next time, bye-bye.